If you're struggling to have your offer accepted, or if you're a real estate agent and your client keeps losing out on properties, then I want you to walk through this real estate math with me in order to show your client how they can win the next house. Hey guys, what's up? My name is David Brooke. I am a real estate coach and I own a $200 million real estate team selling over 500 properties every single year. Let me show you exactly how you can navigate a very busy real estate market that's a seller-focused, in-control market and still feel like you're actually winning. All right, there are three types of buyers that are out there in this market right now, and I want to ask you, which category are you in? The first category are the losers. They're the ones who keep submitting offers on properties and they are just not in the game. I'm going to show you about those. Ask yourself, am I in that category? I hope you're not. Number two is going to be, am I a contender? Meaning I'm inside of the real estate market. I'm submitting offers on properties. I keep getting close. You're in the top 1, 2, 3, 4 offers. Well, maybe not one because you're not winning. But you're in the market, you're just not nailing the house. You're not winning the property. If you're a contender, this video is really for you because it's going to help you become a winner. The last category are the winners. These are the ones in the buyer pool who are actually going out, seeing properties in a low inventory market and are actually winning properties. Now, most of the time, I've got to be very clear about this. This is not financial advice for you. I want you to seek out your financial planner for this. But as an experienced real estate investor and real estate coach, I want to show you how the values in this busy market are working right now and how the winners are actually coming out on top. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are waiting to see if the real estate market's going to crash. And what they're waiting for is actually a reversal of these economics that are happening in real estate of supply and demand. And what they're hoping for is that the prices come down. But in order for prices to come down, at least in a lot of places nationwide, is they need to see supply increase. This means that people need to put their homes to the market. Now, one of the big reasons that people have not put their homes to the market is they have low interest rates and they don't want to give up their low interest rate in order to get into another property at a higher interest rate. That's just some simple real estate math, and I'm going to go over that in another video. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel now so you can get a little bit more information on how that works. And actually, you'd be surprised as to how even buying right now can be really, really smart for yourself in taking advantage of some of the benefits of that real estate math. Now, let me get back to this. Let's say that you are a buyer in this market. You're waiting for the market to crash. You've waited some time, and let's pretend that this is the time scale and this is the cost scale of properties, and the prices continue to go up. And so you're asking yourself, when is this going to change? Well, here's what I want to nail down for you, is you don't want to make a mistake. I understand that, and you don't want to overpay for a home. But here's how these three categories of buyers actually get made. So here they are. Let's start with the losers category. The loser category is always trying to figure out what's this property worth, but they're doing their real estate math by looking at what are called comparables, which happened in the past, and they're looking at what their property is worth. So let's pretend, this is nothing wrong with this, let's pretend that we're right here at this point in time, and they want to look as to what they find a property at this point in time, and they say, well, what is this property worth? So they go to their real estate agent and they say, pull me some comps that's going to say, what did other people pay for a similar type of property in this market? And I want to see what my house is therefore worth. Now, that's a good idea, and real estate appraisers do this in order to evaluate properties just like real estate agents do. And what they'll come up with is they'll come up with what's called a CMA, or a comparative market analysis, or some sort of appraisal. But here's the thing. Imagine that you're in a car, this is you, and on the timeline and you're traveling. Everything in the rear view mirror, which is stuff that's happened in the past, okay? This is the past. Everything that's happened in the past has sold at lower prices. So if you're pulling comps that sold out here and here and here, you may say, okay, well, this property's actually, this one sold for $450, and this one sold for $465, and this one sold for $475. And what they do is they put them all together and they say, okay, your house is worth $465. And so the buyer, these losers, will end up offering, let's say, $465 for the property, and maybe the property today is listed at $475. Someone lists at $475, and they bid $465 because that's what the comps say, and they miss out on the property. They feel like if they pay the asking price for the home, then they're overpaying for the property, only to find out that this property actually sold for $525. True story. And they say to themselves, or the real estate agent says, you've overpaid, or the other person overpaid for the property. We'll let them do this, and this is in, they use this word, It's a crazy real estate market. It's a crazy real estate market. And guess what? No one wants to be crazy because you look like a clown if you're doing crazy stuff. So no one wants to be a clown. So they don't participate, and they either go sit on the sidelines in this market and they keep waiting and the prices keep going up. If you know someone like that, share this video with them, because I'm going to break down some very important things as to how they're on the right track, but they're just missing out, and you don't want to be a loser anymore in this real estate market. You want to be a winner. Now, here's the next category. Here's the contenders. The contenders in this market are the ones that see this property, they see it listed for $475, and what they do is they say, yeah, we saw this one that sold for $450, $465, and $475, but we knew that they were in the past. They knew that they were looking in the rear view mirror, and they needed to equate for the difference. And so what these guys do is they add in what's called a time adjustment. And what their real estate agent will do is just what a real estate appraiser does and says, hey, you know what? This market's actually increasing at about 5% to 10% per year. And so let's say they add on a 10%, a 5%, let's say a 5% adjustment to it. And they add that on, and let's just estimate that in this market to be around 25K. So they see, okay, you know what? The comps say 465. We'll add on 25,000 to this, and so we're going to say, okay, we're going to add on 475, so we're going to bid 490. And what they do is they place a bid of 490 on the property, and they still lose. This might be a video for you if you've been placing offers on properties and you've been missing out. You've been placing it either in the mix and your agent keeps calling you back, or you're the real estate agent who has to call your client back and say, oh, you know what, guys, we were there, we were in the mix, we were in the top 5, but we missed out. We didn't win the offer. All right, so those people are including that time adjustment, which seems to make sense, but here's the one thing that they're missing. They're going for the present moment, and they need to take the advice of the hockey player. And what's the advice of the hockey player? The advice is, don't go to where the puck is, go to where the puck is going. And the same thing applies in the real estate market, as you can use just an educated guess as to what things will happen. Now again, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not able to tell the future. This is not financial advice for you. This is just an understanding of how real estate has worked in the past. If you can see that you have low inventory and high demand in the market, you can see that you've got lots of showings, lots of people want your house, or lots of people want that house that you're bidding on, and the prices continually increase on this, and we don't see a lot of supply coming to the market to know that this is going to stop, we can probably expect that these prices are going to continue to rise. So if that's the case, I always ask the question, how long do you anticipate that you're going to be in that dream house? And most people say, oh, it's the last house I'm going to buy, or I plan on being here for the next 5 or 10 years. I have no intention of selling at all. Now that's great, things can change in your life and you can turn around in 2 years and sell. But if your real estate market is increasing at 5% or 10% per year, think about that. On a $400,000 house, that first 5% is 20K. And by the next one, it's not just another 20K, it's probably whatever, another $22,000, right, that you're adding to that, or more. Forget my math on that one. But the bottom line is, for every year that you're waiting, there's more and more of appreciation that you're missing out on. So let's find this last category, and this is the winner category. And the winner category doesn't just include, yes, I'm looking at the comps, yes, I'm adding in a time adjustment to bring it to the present moment. They're also adding in the future market appreciation for where the property will be. Ready for this? When it will close. So likely most of the time these are 30 days, 45 days, 60 days in order for the property to close. So now they're looking into the future and estimating and saying, listen, in the next couple of months, it's probably going to end up here. And guess what? Maybe they add in for a little more appreciation in there. So they add an additional 5%, and that equals 10% on that. And so they say, okay, we're going to bid $46,000 above that list price, which for all the losers in this category, they're like, you overpaid. Okay, my friend, listen, if you bought back here and somebody paid, right, this number, oh, you paid, and it's years later, are they really a loser? No. If you bought, whatever, Nvidia stock at $100 a share and you overpaid from the guy who bought it for 90, are you laughing right now? You sure you are, because that stock is through the roof. Just like home prices are through the roof, people who can see and understand where the market is moving are bidding not only in advance of the current present moment, but at least positioning themselves maybe 2, 3, 5, 6 months in advance of that appreciation, and then they end up placing bids that are like, hey, I'm placing a bid for $525, on the market, and they end up winning the property. Now I want to be clear here, there's so many other terms that go into a winning offer, and I'd be happy to explain those in other videos about contingencies, how you can kind of navigate in and out of them. But if you're a real estate agent, or if potentially you're a buyer and you've been struggling to get your offer accepted, consider this real estate math and how to go from a loser to a contender, or especially from a contender to a winner in the real estate game. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If this has been important for you, subscribe to this channel for more real estate math and advice.